trusted news source, ABC6 News at noon.
Happy Monday and a very happy Valentine's Day. Good afternoon. I'm Olivia DeRocha in this afternoon for Doreen Scanlon. We begin this afternoon with developing news. Newport police are still looking to make an arrest after a deadly double shooting at a social club around 1 o'clock this morning. ABC6 News reporter Darren Botello has the latest on this investigation.
Hey, we're on Faribault Street right now in Newport. This is the scene of a deadly double shooting early this morning at the Friendly Sons of Newport. This is a social club. Police say they responded to the double shooting. Coming out here, one of the victims had multiple gunshot wounds. They were both transported to Rhode Island Hospital. That victim with the multiple gunshot wounds ended up succumbing to those gunshot wounds and dying. The other victim ended up walking away from the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police are investigating this right now. I did speak with a worker here at the social club, and that worker says that it was an unfortunate situation. They're sorry about the shooting and the victims, but they did not have any more comment besides that, telling us to talk to Newport police. Obviously, this is an ongoing situation as we work to find out who the victims were in this shooting. In Newport, Darren Botello, ABC6 News.
And coming up on ABC6 News first at 4, we'll hear from a neighbor who lives just across the street from where that shooting happened, his reaction to this violence in his neighborhood. Now to an ABC6 News follow-up. We now know the man charged in a DUI crash in Exeter will appear in court on Wednesday. State police say 30-year-old Alexander Krajewski was under the influence when he hit a car with two teens inside head-on Saturday night. The teenage driver is expected to be okay, but the passenger tonight is in critical condition at Rhode Island Hospital. Krajewski was not hurt in that crash and now faces multiple charges. We'll have more starting on ABC6 News first at 4 on that ongoing investigation. New details today about a break-in investigation in SEEKONK. The seizure of 50 dirt bikes in Boston earlier this month is connected to that investigation. These photos produced by Boston Police Department SEEKONK Police Chief Dan Isabella tells ABC6 this is connected to a break-in at SEEKONK business and similar break-ins around the area. We previously reported 7 people were seen on a security tape breaking into Motorsports Nation on Progress Street back on February 2nd, getting away with 9 bikes totaling over $5,000 in value. Federal law enforcement agencies are also involved in this investigation. In court today, the mother of 2 kids who tested positive for fentanyl after being found unresponsive in a Pawtucket apartment earlier in December. The 2-year-old boy died while an 8-year-old boy survived. The mother, 26-year-old Jesseline Andrade of Cranston, is facing second-degree murder and other charges. The judge entered no plea on her behalf, and she's being held without bail. Now, her boyfriend and a mutual friend are also facing second-degree murder charges. Warwick Mayor Frank PICOZZI is now responding to a new complaint about his transparency over his past finances. The Providence Journal reports a resident of the city filed that complaint with the Rhode Island Ethics Commission, alleging PICOZZI did not properly disclose debts from a 2020 form. In a Facebook post, the mayor says he did fall behind on payments with the IRS after the 2008 recession, but he's working to pay them off. Now, he said the person making the allegation has a history of trying to dig up dirt on people. ABC6 covering our schools now. Parents of students in Providence schools have a chance to give feedback on stimulus spending tonight. The public schools in the city will get nearly $128 million from the American Rescue Plan Act. Tonight, district leaders host the second of 3 town hall meetings. It runs from 5:30 to 6:30, and we have a link to access it on our website. That's abc6.com. A number of school committees in our area will discuss mask policies for kids tonight. Now, this comes as Governor Dan McKee announced the statewide mask mandate in schools will expire on March 4th. Governor Baker announcing that same mandate in Massachusetts will expire February 28th. Portsmouth, Lincoln, and Block Island in Rhode Island, and Fall River and Dartmouth in Massachusetts all also meeting tonight to discuss. Now, when the mandate expires, districts in each state will get to decide about those masking protocols. North Attleboro superintendent condemning an alleged assault on a transgender student from the high school. The Sun Chronicle reporting a transgender student was allegedly taunted and assaulted after a boys' basketball game against Foxborough last week. Now, thankfully, the student was not seriously hurt. Superintendent John Antonucci tells us the district has been in touch with that student and offered counseling and support to those who need it. Antonucci went on to say, quote, "This was a deeply upsetting and disturbing incident that in no way reflects the values and principles of North Attleboro Public Schools. We strive to provide a welcoming, supportive, and above all, safe learning environment for all and denounce all acts of hate and violence." He said North Attleboro police are currently investigating and the school department won't have any further comment until that wraps up. And here's an inspiring story caught on camera after last week's hours-long standoff on Denison Street in Providence that led to hundreds of rounds of ammunition being fired. Students still had to get to school for the day. Police say 61-year-old Scott McLean fired on them before they returned fire back. McLean did die on the scene. Now, after that lengthy standoff made for an unwelcome wake-up for neighbors, enter Providence Interim Superintendent Javier Montanez, who was on scene helping direct traffic for those school buses.
I tried not to focus on the scene behind me. I was looking forward to who's in front of me, which is the students. So if I was able to get the students focused on me and not the scene behind me, I would do whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes.
Now, police continue to investigate that standoff and that shooting. And now to our continuing coverage of the coronavirus. Parents of kids under 5 will keep waiting for a COVID vaccine if they want to get their kids the shot. Pfizer is testing a 3-dose regimen with those younger kids, but the FDA scrapped a planned meeting tomorrow to discuss the first 2 doses while that work continues. The first 2 doses did not generate the same type of response that they did in other trials with those other kids.
Delays here reflect the fact that they decreased the dose for these younger kids in order to make sure that it was safe. Unfortunately, it looks like that decreased dose decrease the effectiveness of the vaccine a little bit, which is why they need the 3 shots instead of just 2.
It could now take until April before a decision is made on giving the shots emergency use authorization. The review process for the vaccine mandate for state workers in Massachusetts continues, and most medical or religious exemption requests are being denied. WBUR in Boston reports the state has denied 89% of exemption requests. 256 requests have been approved. Now, the state also continues to negotiate with the State Police Association of Massachusetts after that group's lawsuit to block the mandate failed. And switching gears, we woke up to some winter weather this morning. Here's some video you can see on your screen right there of kids heading to school at SEEKONK High after a 1-hour delay. That was one of the shorter delays in our area. As you know, Providence going with a 2-hour delay in some schools in both Rhode Island and Massachusetts, calling for snow delays. And let's head over right now and get a look on our SkyCam HD. Things have changed significantly, which we like to see that sun now shining over Providence. ABC6 meteorologist Chelsea Priest is here with your forecast. Chelsea, what can you tell us?
Yeah, we're into full sunshine now in most locations, some passing clouds at times. Now that the snow has come to an end, the bigger story is going to be these really cold temperatures in place. Tough to believe that just 48 hours ago we had record-breaking warmth. Then we went over to record-breaking snow the next day, and we're waking up and we saw all that snow early this morning. The snow came to an end pretty quickly. We're in the low 20s right now. Factor in that breeze coming in out of the northwest. It feels more like 8 degrees at the moment. We're going to continue to see these cold temperatures in place through the day today, through tonight, and into tomorrow as well. What you're looking at temperature-wise are those temperatures staying in that low 20s range for most of us. Teens in Smithfield, they haven't really budged much from where we started the day today. A few little flurries still continuing for far southeastern Mass. Otherwise, we're continuing to see brighter and brighter conditions, especially from west to east, and that'll continue to be the case for the remainder of the afternoon. It will be clear and very chilly overnight. Actual temperatures by 9 p.m. down into the teens. Feel like temperatures by tomorrow morning below 0. We're going to have to watch out for some icy conditions out there. I'll have much more in your full forecast in just a few minutes. Olivia?
All right, Chelsea, thank you. And you better clean off that car if you haven't already picked up a gift for that significant other today. Local florists are swamped with business for Valentine's Day. Inflation and supply chain issues are touching flower shops too. Less flowers, less vases, less baskets, and higher prices. But the owner of City Gardens Flower Shop in Providence says things are more back to normal this year in terms of sales.
A year ago, it needed to be a lot of deliveries, non-contact delivery pickup. Now, people are mostly back to normal. They come in wearing masks, which is good, but they're not quite as phobic.
Hope everyone gets those flowers today. And Diamario says the holiday falling on Super Bowl Monday means less morning business as people recover from a night of partying. A midweek Valentine's Day is best for business. Still to come on ABC6 News at noon, how the Parkland High School community is remembering that tragic shooting on the 4th anniversary today. And the latest on the situation at the U.S.-Canada border, where trucker convoys continue to protest those vaccine mandates. Turning to national headlines now, the busiest U.S.-Canada border crossing is now open after protesters demonstrating against COVID-19 measures blocked it for nearly a week. ABC News continues our coverage with the latest from New York.
Traffic is flowing again across the Ambassador Bridge after a week-long blockade over Canada's vaccine mandate shut the border crossing that links Windsor, Ontario with Detroit.
The blockade at our border in Windsor has now come to an end. The Ambassador Bridge has reopened.
Today, Ontario relaxed its COVID-19 restrictions, but Premier Doug Ford made clear it's because conditions have improved, not because of the protests.
Today's announcement is not because of what's happening in Ottawa or Windsor, but despite it.
Police forcibly removed protesters and their vehicles. There were more than 24 arrests.
From the onset of the demonstration, our goal was to resolve this situation safely and peacefully.
You have a vehicle that's parked in here. We're asking you to move it.
Police spent the weekend moving protesters away from the bridge, the busiest crossing in North America, after demonstrations demanding an end to Canada's COVID-19 restrictions kept it closed for nearly a week. In a statement this morning, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer called the crossing's reopening a win for Michigan's working families who were just trying to do their jobs. The shutdown disrupted production at auto plants as car makers struggled to get parts across the border.
It's just one more thing that is challenging auto production. I would think that plants would start up early next week.
More than $300 million worth of goods come across the Ambassador Bridge each day. The mayor of Windsor told ABC News the focus now is preventing a similar blockade from occurring again. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
And today marks 4 years since the shooting at Parkland High in Florida that claimed 17 lives. 14 students and 3 staff members died after the gunman opened fire at Stoneman Douglas High School. Some gun control advocates are using the tragedy to press President Joe Biden to back more gun legislation. Now, the father of one of the victims killed in the shooting climbed a crane at the White House today holding a poster of his son. D.C. police arrested 3 people at that site. It's not known yet if the father was among those to be taken into custody. Gas prices on the rise, how much extra you'll be paying at the pump in Rhode Island this week, and where you can find the best deals in our area. And we'll check in with Chelsea. She's standing by with your full 7-day forecast coming up after the break.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
Well, we're clearing out now after all of that snow fell basically all day yesterday. It was mainly just pavement yesterday that stayed wet. But then overnight as the sun set, we really started to see that snow accumulating everywhere, even on the beach. Block Island, snow covered right now, and gusty winds making it feel so cold. You can see the choppy waters over Block Island. Now, the snow is so fine and light, and you go to clear it off, it just blows immediately away. I've been looking at this Preserve Club camera. You can see all the blue sky, but at times it looks like there's a ton of snow flying by, and that's just because that snow is kind of blowing about with the gusty winds that are picking up, and because it is so light. Went to clean off the car, brushed right off. Very easy to clean up. Also, that fluff factor is what brought in some very high totals. Some spots closer to 10 inches in northwest Rhode Island with the cold, dry air in place. We're looking at temperatures that are in the teens in Smithfield right now. 20s for Providence, for Newport, for New Bedford. 21 degrees in Providence, below the average low for this time of year. Again, so tough to believe that just 2 days ago we had such a spring-like day where we had record-breaking warmth in Providence. I do have warmer temperatures that'll be moving in later this week. Today, tonight, and tomorrow, though, we have this gusty wind out of the northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour right now. Some gusts coming in over 20 miles per hour. And that wind from the northwest continues to pump in the cold temperatures and makes us feel so much cooler. Wind chills at the moment in the single digits. As we head through the evening hours, actual temperatures dropping down into the teens and single digits. And those feel like temperatures by early tomorrow morning coming down below zero. So get ready for a very cold, cold night. We are seeing sunshine outside today, so you're getting some melting taking place, even though those temperatures are so cold. With the overnight temperatures dipping down into the single digits, as soon as we lose that daylight, we're going to have to watch for ice. Same thing's going to happen tomorrow. We stay below freezing, but during the day, you'll get some sunshine, so you'll get some melting taking place. Into Wednesday, we wake up very cold, but we end up in the 40s, which is seasonable for this time of year, a little bit above that. Back into the 50s. A nice little warm up Thursday into Friday. That is going to come with some rain late Thursday into Friday, wind too, but at least we have a little warm up and some seasonable temperatures ahead into the weekend. Outside right now, you can see some light flurries still continuing for far eastern Mass. Otherwise, the farther west you go, you're getting brighter and brighter, and we'll continue to see sunshine for the rest of the afternoon with clear conditions overnight and mainly sunny conditions in the coming days, just some passing clouds here and there. That low system continues to pull away. You see dry conditions overnight. We'll have to watch for patchy, icy spots, especially anything that ends up being wet today will freeze overnight. Overnight into tomorrow, you end up with partly clear conditions. Tomorrow is another cold day, but a dry day. And Wednesday, some passing clouds at times, a little bit warmer into the afternoon. Now, we'll be tracking this cold front as we head into later in the day, Thursday night, and into Friday. Ahead of that front, though, is the warmer temperatures, and that's what we can enjoy, especially Thursday before the rain moves in. Should be decent. Only in the low to mid 20s today. With the wind, we feel even cooler tonight. Again, we're watching for ice. Actual temperatures in the single digits. Factor in even just a light breeze, and those feel like temperatures tomorrow morning down below 0. Tomorrow, a mainly sunny day. It stays cold, though. Highs only around 30 degrees, which is about 10 degrees cooler than average. We start Wednesday cold, but we make it into the 40s in the afternoon. 50s on Thursday. Rain moves in late. It's breezy, and overnight we continue to see rain and wind. Friday's one of those backwards days. The warmest temp happens in the early morning hours. From there, we start to cool down, and we're seasonable as we clear out into the weekend. Olivia?
All right, Chelsea, thank you. Now, gas prices continue to climb here in Rhode Island. Gas Buddy reporting the average price is up 5 cents this week in the Ocean State for an average of $3.45 a gallon. I don't like that. That's nearly 13 cents higher than a month ago and $1 higher than last Valentine's Day. The average national average is up too, and gas hasn't been this expensive in February since 2014 in Providence. Massachusetts is averaging $3.47 a gallon. That's up 4 cents from last week. Now, ABC6 wants to help you save some money on gas by using the Southern New England Gas Tracker. Listings on the lowest gas prices in Rhode Island and Massachusetts are there for you to check out, so you can go to the stations that work best for you. Just head to our website, abc6.com, and click on the Gas Tracker. It's right under the Community tab. The PC Friars just keep winning. Will their ranking rise in the AP poll today? We'll preview the big game at the Dunk tomorrow. And the Rams wide receiver that dipped early from the team's Super Bowl celebration. We promise he had a pretty good reason to do that, and we'll share that coming up. And the PC Friars men basketball team continues its hot streak, and the team should find out if it's again in the rising AP top 25 college basketball rankings today. PC came in number 11 last week and then beat DePaul at home in an OT thriller on Saturday. Now, whether the Friars move up the board or not, they'll face one of its toughest opponents of the season in number 15 Villanova at the Dunk tomorrow night. The Friars have won 8 straight games. And a big congratulations to Brown alum and Super Bowl champion Michael Hoyt. He's a defensive tackle for the LA Rams. Now Hoyt wearing the Brown logo on his pads during the game, bringing the East Side with him on the sports' biggest stage. He was a captain at Brown and finished his career with the Bears at a 3rd all-time in career sacks for the program. And it was an extra Super Sunday for Rams wide receiver Van Jefferson, his wife leaving the game early in labor. Yes, in labor. Jefferson skipping the post-game celebration, rushing to be by her side after the win, and posting this great photo smiling, holding their new baby boy. They haven't decided on a name just yet. Coming up on ABC6 News at noon, Chelsea has another look at your afternoon forecast right after the break.
Certainly much brighter outside this afternoon, but it's breezy and it's cold with temperatures only in the 20s. Feel like temperatures in the single digits. There is some melting taking place because of the sunshine, and with temperatures dropping down to the single digits overnight once the sun sets, we're gonna have to watch for icy spots early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow looks sunny and chilly, warmer on Wednesday, 50s on Thursday. Olivia?
All right, Chelsea, sounds good. Thanks for joining us for ABC6 News at noon. We'll see you at 4. Happy Valentine's Day.